Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to your daily read for Sunday, November 13th, 2022. I do want to thank you so much for your presence. I also want to remind you that this is general for the day for all 12 signs, so simply take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I more than appreciate you liking this video, leaving me a comment down below or several, and subscribing to the channel if you haven't joined this amazing tribe already as the channel grows. But let's aim on down and pull some cards. Alrighty, take 3. This is my third attempt to record this part of the reading, and I do feel like it's going to be a little bit of an all over the place kind of Sunday where energy is taking a focus as far as how, when it comes to how it affects us individually, even if you're not typically one to notice that, right? It does affect everybody to a certain extent, and so I do feel like there's a situation where you're feeling a bit limited, a bit trapped, okay? Or you just feel like the energy is weighing you down. I mean, I know I can relate to that. And you needing to recognize when you're empathically sitting in somebody else's energy, or you're just being weighed down in certain ways. And you might have already had a bit of that taking a focus recently in the previous days. But I do feel as if it's a day to reground oneself. I got the message in both of the other attempts that somebody around you needs to get it together, okay? And so that's affecting the situation that we're speaking upon for you individually. And so when need be, step away, as I always say, and reground oneself, right? Get back to your way of being, because I do feel like there's a sense of each of us feeling quite independent and maybe a bit alone in certain ways throughout this day, but as well, again, feeling a bit burnt out. This came out in, I want to say, both attempts. And I do feel like it's just a feeling that things are affecting you more than you want to admit or you wish. And so this Sunday is a chance to implement an immense amount of self-care, right? A healthy amount, to feel better about oneself, to glow a bit more, to get ready for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you name it, and all that those days entail. Because I feel like there's either a new opportunity or something, just a lot of work lying ahead. I'm hearing a fresh start for some, or at the very least needs to feel like a fresh start, right? Where you're not feeling fogged in, or just weighed down, burnt out, right? I need to wipe away that sort of horrible wording, that tired sort of foggy feeling, and just begin again, all right? So it's preparation throughout the Sunday. What else do we have for Sunday? I got so frustrated when I couldn't fully finish those other attempts, but I did get the message in between the second and this third attempt that the number 3 plays into this day. Spirituality, success, all right? So don't fret when things feel a bit annoying, okay, or just not ideal. You cannot control the energy in the air, at least to the fullest extent, so do not fret. Other people need to work on their vibe, their energy, right? What's going on in their mind, heart, and soul. And that's not something that you should even begin to bother oneself to fix or just adjust, but also just, just don't bother oneself, right? Just, again, take care of yourself throughout this day. As selfish as that sounds, it's not selfish, right? I feel as if, again, this preparation for a new job, a new beginning, a fresh mindset, or at the very least, you could be doing some shopping throughout this day or browsing online. I do sense that there's a need for you to recenter oneself as well, if I didn't say that already. It's coming out for a reason. The number 320, 320, look up that angel number, meaning there's a message for you. But you're learning more about your situation, about oneself, about how to better cope with what doesn't feel ideal at this time when it comes to your living situation, work, you name it. It stems further out is what I'm hearing. But I do feel like you're also gaining a better understanding of what's at hand, okay? And potentially in regards to what lies ahead. Some of you getting spiritual downloads, intuitive hits, but I also feel like there could be a tarot reading or something of the sort that you're drawn to or guided to by spirit to give you a bit of insight in regards to what the upcoming days have in store for you, okay? Or just one specific day or a specific period of time for you individually. Let's just put it that way. But look at that, the 8 of Swords again, right? Sorry, the lighting's a bit weird. The 8 of Swords once again, because you're feeling again a bit weighed down, a bit trapped, but all the meanwhile, there's a lot to be grateful for, okay? If we just adjust our perspective and migrate towards what feels healthy for oneself. We have the Emperor card and the Two of Swords. I just heard a bit of stardom, a bit of stardom. It feels like whatever you produce and develop and potentially have in the recent past, that is leaving you with an immense amount of positive attention. So let's try and focus on that at this time and regain our strength all the meanwhile through it potentially, or from it even for some, and allow for ourselves to not overly focus on what feels unhealthy in certain ways, okay? But look at that, Three of Pentacles, again, being noticed, being paid attention to, okay, being poked at in certain ways. So there could be spiritual messing with, and that could be part of when you sort of feel the inclination to let that frustration out of your grasp is what I'm getting. Just, you know what I mean? To losing that control to a certain extent, or about to, just reel it back in, okay? Take a deep breath. I would recommend meditation throughout this day, even if it's gotten away from you recently or you just don't typically wrap oneself up with that. But yeah, the Emperor card, talking about how you're producing, developing, and a bit overly serious. I need to get back to that skippy way of being, or just that pep in your step needs to come back. Have you noticed recently it's sort of dissipated from your situation, or due to things feeling a bit heavy due to what other people are going through or just what you've been going through? So what are we going to do about it, right? Let's try to, again, implement self-care, go for a stroll, wrap oneself up with some sunlight or just Mother Nature in general. Do something that uplifts you, right? Your soul, wakes it up a bit, that lifts your energy, your vibration. Because I do feel like there's, again, a focus on how you just feel a bit concerned or a bit blinded to the future of a situation or how long it's meant to last. It's very interesting because I'm seeing this almost like clouds. The clouds will clear is what I'm hearing. The clouds will clear. There's also a focus on weather, on the weather that you're specifically dealing with and that you have dealt with. They're pointing out specifically for me the energy of Hurricane Nicole, and although it was just a tropical storm here in Orlando, it affects me energy wise. Like, it's a lot to handle for somebody that's heavily affected by energy, to the point where people don't even till this day fully get how much it affects me. But it drained me a bit. Bear with me. It made me a bit on edge, even though I was coping with it pretty damn well. And then other sources of energy, frustration took place, but you know what I'm saying? So past energy, past weather, stuff of that nature taking a highlight in regards to you again needing to bounce back, okay? But the Nine of Cups talking about how this day also reminds you in certain ways, informs you even potentially of a wish fulfillment that you desire that's about to come to be. This could be in regards to love, a relationship, somebody swooping on in, getting that desire fulfilled, or it could be more in regards to a new job, or it could be in regards to a new level of success, progression. Some of you need to recognize that certain wish fulfillments have been on the back burner when it comes to Spirit's view and approach on things. And it may even be a situation where you start to see back to back to back these little wish fulfillments that feel bigger in your mind, heart, and soul start to come to be, okay? A bit of a dry spell gone before your very eyes. Interesting. Let's pull some tea leaf cards. We're going to go with this deck, or this pile rather. We have the Carriage card talking about a journey, either physical or mental. It's a bit of a mental game throughout this day, or at least it will feel like it to a certain extent. A focus on your individual journey, your path. And it just feels like all the meanwhile you're being reminded that whatever feels limited, again, a bit trapped in your situation, or where you feel a bit trapped, a bit heavy in certain ways, it's temporary. It's temporary. So don't let it become bigger in one's mind, all right, in your point of view. Keep things in perspective and realign oneself focus-wise with what feels productive, what feels positive, because there's a lot of abundance floating around in the potential and just in what you're succeeding with throughout this day. A distant friend is thinking about you. A distant friend is thinking about you. I just heard don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. I feel like your wording or just what you've said recently when it comes to certain people or one specific person, that will come to mind. But I just feel like You're needing to remember that every little slip up, every mistake, every conversation, wording, perfect, right? In its imperfection, it was meant to be, period. And you'll see why moving forward. But you're also being reminded to light a candle if you wish to be more spiritually connected in that moment, but also that you are being shown the way and will more so moving forward. Okay. And I feel like you're being reminded as well that your spirituality will be taking an increase moving forward. Obviously, some more than others being drawn to this reading. But a new creative idea or multiple will come to be. And being reminded of new ventures moving forward. Again, we spoke upon a fresh start, did we not? And your connection to the sun will take a focus. And I also feel like your fire sign placements will be highlighted throughout this day, as it may be part of why you're so quick to let go or let loose in that frustration department. That was weird wording, but you get the point. That passion and can sometimes turn into a bit of frustration. Don't let it build up is what I'm hearing, but you're also being reminded of a change for the better, a change for the better. I feel like this could be in regards to your routine. It could be more so in regards to, an addition for you specifically, but also you're being reminded that where things feel a bit heavy once again, there's a change on the horizon, okay? A replacement, if you will, or just a specific release for you individually that will leave you transforming in a much easier way, okay? It will leave your life trickling out in certain other positive ways. There's also a focus on the month of August for whatever reason. Interesting. But I do feel like, once again, there's a bit of a focus with this butterfly here on how you're changing, on how you're growing, and how that's left you better coping with what doesn't feel perfect at this time. But again, allow this Sunday to be a refreshing restart in certain ways where you reground oneself, feel a bit healthier, a bit refreshed, and you sort of shake it off and bounce back to prepare for the upcoming days and all that you have to achieve moving forward. All right. So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you next time.